It's another weekend and it gives us great pleasure to be connected with you once again through shared experiences, engaging conversation, and a lot more. I'm Helen Odele, always grateful to God for the gift of life.
And I always love to hear the Oma.
Oma.
So with the level of insecurity and uncertainty around us, safety and the peace of mind becomes premium. Hello there, I am John Senaya, and I'm pleased to welcome you to another edition of the program. Yeah?
Yes, and we make it a date with the family every weekend. This is Today with John and Helen Live. This weekend on the program, our focus will be on safety for the children, business expansions and success through acquisitions, and a journey to the ancient and bubbly town of Badagry to check out the movie industry that is steadily growing up there.
Yes, it's a soothing and entertaining blend on the show today, and we implore you to get all you need to be comfortable while we take the very first break. Don't go anywhere because we have got a great show ahead for you. See you in a bit.
Okay, this is a family favorite, your family favorite weekend show. We call it Today with John and Helen Live, and we are live from PlusTvAfrica here in Victoria Island, Nigeria. And we thank you for always being there for us. How familiar are we with the word business acquisition? How does it work? Could this be a model of strategy for business growth in these difficult times?
And really, should we be concerned about the use of chemicals in baby foods? Capping it up is an excursion into the recently concluded Badagry International Film, Cultural and Sports Festival. A fast-rising movie maker, you see, Vion Awanse, joins us later to tell us all about the festival.
All right, so right away, let's prepare to share knowledge and information on business growth. Melvin Anochiam joins us in just a moment to break it all down, acquisitions and all that you need to know.
So we get straight to it. Yes, it's everything you need to know about business growth. Our guest is the founder, CEO, Vaultila Acquisitions, business consultant of over 2 decades in SME business advisory, specializing in mergers and acquisitions. Business growth, the power of acquisition is our focus today. And thanks for joining us today, Melvin Anochiam. Yeah, I got it right. Anochiam. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I got it right too, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So we're Nigerian. Bless you. Thank you so much for making time to be with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Okay. So how do we start?
You shoot first.
All right, an overview. Can you provide us with an overview of what business acquisition entails, especially for our audience who might be less familiar with this concept?
Okay. Thanks again for having me, and thank you, viewers. Business acquisition simply means a company acquiring another. There are different reasons why a company would want to acquire another. It could be for strategic expansion, could be for resource expansion, and also at the end of the day, it's for taking over market share and profit. And so it's very important that most of the business moguls we have out there, from the Otedolas, the big men, they're all into acquisitions. And this is a strategic way of expanding and growing their business portfolio and at the same time increasing revenue. So I really would want even the small businesses that we have today to think of mergers and acquisition as a way of fast-tracking their business expansion and growth, especially at this present time.
Okay, before John jumps in, John jumps in 2 days. Okay, so I hear merger. Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I know it's A or B or ABC coming together.
Exactly.
But acquisition, is it always total or partial?
Yes. Acquisition can be total acquisition and could be partial acquisition. Take, for instance, if we all do acquisitions, as we all speak, businesses, you could acquire shares, you could acquire a bit of a company. You can also acquire, and a business can acquire the whole set of a company. And so for the high takers. It depends on the amount of money that is available for you, the revenue that the business already has, that could determine the level you will play in. And so if you are buying stocks of a company, that's acquisition. And so you're buying bits of that company. But a business also can decide to acquire another business that is in line with their kind of business. So if you have a company that is in your industry and you feel that you guys could have a strategic partnership and relationship, you can also merge together and acquire that business for your own strategic expansion. So
Even
it's not
looking
just
at your poise and your posture, there's a suggestion that acquisition is all about power and might, yes?
no, not really. It's about economic development.
Because you have the power pose.
Oh no! Thank you very much.
Okay, just an aside. So tell me, in what circumstances do businesses typically consider acquisition as a growth strategy, and how does it differ from other expansionist
Yeah. There's so
strategies?
many ways that businesses grow, but there's an organic way of businesses growing, which is there are two ways, for business to grow, and which is organic. Do you understand? And organically, there are different models of growth, but from my own study, I believe that there are four processes of business growth, and there's the survival stage. That's when you're just starting, and there's a timeline attached to it.
Okay.
5 years. I believe that if you're in a business survival stage, you should stay in that survival stage for 5 years maximum. The next stage is the sustainability stage, meaning that business will be able to sustain itself, pay your salary, pay you as a person, and also pay one or two of your workers. The third stage is the scalability stage. That is when you now start growing massively. Blowing massively. And the last stage is the sellability stage. That's now people are now interested in acquiring your business, either through shareholding, either banks are interested in you. You've gotten to the level that everybody, even staffs, employees would want to work at your place. So every business must think about that growth pattern. And so, but if you now want to I call it the cheat code. Acquisition is the cheat code. So if you now want to scale faster from that survival stage, from the sustainability stage, because 10 years max you should be in that stage, you can now scale faster through acquisition.
Okay.
You can now jump. It's the cheat code for entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Acquisition. So you're acquiring skill set management. Because when you're acquiring a business, you're acquiring the whole set, the asset, the operations, and also the skill sets that you don't have. And so even if you don't have an idea of that industry, if you acquire, you would have management still in place that have the technical expertise and they know how to run the operations. So you just bring your leadership in place. So you are like a conductor taking care of a beautiful orchestra. So the level of your leadership ability and your skills as the visioneer, as the innovator, will now determine how far that business that you've acquired would go.
Yeah. Sorry, Helen, let me also jump in before
Please go
you come
ahead.
in. Now, they say that a child who is born and starts walking from day one is abnormal, right? So from the scenario you just gave us, wouldn't fast tracking this growth through acquisition sometimes be abnormal and maybe not easily manageable?
True. But the thing about it is that's why I always say that before you acquire, you would have done your own due diligence. You have done your own, your level of mental growth would have been there. So take, for instance, if you're an employee, you would have understood how businesses run. So you can't just jump straight to acquiring a business, but you must, and there are some, even if you're not experienced, as to say, in the operations, you can have that understanding of general understanding of running a business through different media. You could have this experience, mentorship programs, training, schools. You understand? That is the background. There are some people that don't need to even go to school that starts businesses. Do you understand? What you have a lot of them that, especially if you are into buying and selling, product selling. But like you said, that 5 years is very key.
Yeah, okay.
That 5 years, that's foundation. I'm just saying that you can actually now,
from that point,
now scale faster with the help of acquisition.
So that's timeline for us. Now, what are some of the key factors that will make a business ripe for acquisition? And how can entrepreneurs identify these opportunities?
Yes. There are the key factors for knowing that a business is ripe for acquisition. It boils down to your goal as the buyer. Take for instance, if you're looking at if you're looking at a business that you want to expand, and you now say, okay, like take for instance, there's a business we took over. There's a business that we took over. We consulted for a dry cleaning company, and so the dry cleaning company wanted to expand, and the dry cleaning company only has 2 branches, and has been with 2 branches for too long, and we have people out there that have legacy businesses, as we call them. We call them the baby boomers. These are people between the ages of 60 to 70 that are tired, that are exhausted of running that business. So those businesses already have good revenue. They have the staff,
experience.
They have everything. They have assets. And when you check their books, they are making profit. But the thing there is that when you interview a baby boomer that is running a key man risk operation, that means a one-man business, you will see that this man is already burnt out, because maybe the reason why he started the business is take care of his physiological needs, which is food, clothing, and shelter. There are some people, because we all have different needs based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The ultimate is self-actualization. So, but there are different needs. So if your business already has met some certain needs, and you've got into that level of self-actualization, you realized all that you wanted the business to do for you. You realized it. You get tired, especially these baby boomers, those in that age bracket. So, but you, as an upcoming entrepreneur, that is still bursting with a lot of energy, creative ability. So if you look at all these factors that an already business has, owned by a baby boomer, you see that this business, if you add your own managing skills, creative abilities, and energy into it, and youth, you could take it further. And that is what anybody that starts a business wants: social impact, corporate impact, longevity. They want the business to continue to exist. But they have kids, maybe their children are abroad and they don't want to come back again,
or they are not interested.
And they're not interested. And so you also helping them keep, because they'll be happy. We call them motivated sellers, actually. So they'll be happy to let go. So those are the factors you look at: that the business is healthy, the business has no dispute, no legal tussle, there's no government, no nothing. Do you understand? There are some things you look at, and there are some things you can overcome. You also take it up, because you always look at, is it profitable? Are they making money? So those are the factors you look out for.
Well, for a minute, let me play devil's advocate.
All right.
Because they say we're talking about associations, right? And they say that associations are like elevators. Yeah, they take you up or they bring you down. All right. So now, could you tell us what are some common challenges that entrepreneurs will face during the acquisition process, and how can this be?
Any negatives?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when it's bringing you down.
Yes. From one of our transactions, I'll give you an example so that it hits the nail on the head. From one of our transactions, you would find sellers, we call them, cookbooks. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why it's important to mitigate against all that. You would have your audit team, your financial team do due diligence. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they cook the books because they want to sell at a higher price. Yeah. So those are things to also mitigate against. That is where your lawyers you also check if there are legal battles, if the owner of the business is owing a lot of people. Because when you're acquiring businesses, you also might acquire any liabilities, except you place a clause stating that all liabilities will not come with it. But normally that's how it works. So those things is important that in every process, because there are different processes, like we have a checklist of processes that we go through in terms of acquisition. So as long as each process, you have to be meticulous about it, And also another thing is the person you're buying the business from, because as you talk to the person, you have to be strategic. You have to make sure that the person's character does not come into question. So you can also ask around, what kind of person am I dealing with here? Because if you're acquiring a business and you don't take into cognizance the kind of person it is, tomorrow you might have a problem. There are some businesses we take over, then the next thing the person will tell us that he's not interested in that. You've paid. Then you now file up another litigation saying that he did not. So you must be careful. Do your due diligence. But at the same time, that does not mean that we all get heartbroken. But I still got married, so we still get over it. So yeah, bad eggs. But it's a fantastic way of scaling and growing your business.
Fantastic way.
Yeah.
All right, in your experience now, what role does cultural alignment play in the success of a business acquisition? And how can companies navigate this? And is the business of acquisition limited to core business? The movie industry is taking us all over the world.
Yes, yes.
Are they involved in this?
Yes, acquisition is done in movie industry actually, because you see remakes of old movies. They acquire the rights. Living in Bondage that was remade by another company. These are acquisitions. Content creation is acquisition. So it costs, even people buying real estate is acquisition. Do you understand? So there are different kinds of acquisition. There is the horizontal, there's the vertical, where you buy businesses that are, there's the hostile takeover of a hostile acquisition. There's the friendly acquisition. So it cuts across board. so it depends on the kind of personality you are and where you want to play in, and the resources available to you. So it's something that is done by the big boys. You know, the hotel dollars, they're always acquiring one thing. Access Bank acquiring Intercontinental Bank, Ajib. This is done at that level, and they have investments, fund managers doing all this kind of. But I'm now talking about the SMEs that you can also do it at that scale.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Really, that's where we're going.
Yes.
But before we go there, the way Helen looked at me, now, are you looking at? Are you looking at an acquisition or a merger?
You're already merging already. This show, you're merging in this show already. So it's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about strategies. Yes.
Yes, SMEs. Let's help the SMEs understand this concept, you know, and see how they can key into it.
How
can you help them?
Yes, beautiful, and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So basically, the SMEs in particular, we have a lot of baby boomers out there. You know, that industrial era where there were a lot of people birth, they gave birth to a lot of, because of industries that were availability of, but now that era is gone. But those people, they've started businesses, they have products, they have services that are doing well. They're out there. So normally what we try to do is, a lot of them don't really understand that they could acquire their businesses. I was talking to a man that is in his 70s, and he has partial stroke, but his kids are in America. And so he has grown a very, very viable, strong business, but there's nobody to take over because most of them don't put succession plan in place. Do you understand what I'm saying? But that is where we come in. That's where the SMEs, rather than you trying to say, I want to start up, it takes a long time. It takes resources, it takes a lot to grow businesses from one level to another.
Your company sources
for
the baby boomers.
Yes. So it depends. We source from the baby boomers, those that are motivated sellers that want to sell their businesses on your behalf. And we also look at businesses that are viable based on your whatever level you want to play in. Okay. So we find them out, and we also help you come up with the management team to run the business. Do you understand? So they report to you. You allow the CEO, or it could be the chairman, while you monitor your investment, because the ROI is key, depending on after you've put your money in. So we help you source for businesses around, from the baby boomers, motivated sellers. There are some people that want to sell their business because they want to relocate. There are some people that are sick and they need funding. And there are some people that are just burnt out. They've done the years. And so we don't look at businesses that are below 10 years. We look at businesses that are above 10 years. And these are businesses that we believe that when you mop up, like take for instance, if you're in a certain industry, we mopped up in a certain industry, we mopped up 10 companies. And now that businesses that was doing per annum, just 25 to 30 million, is now doing close to $500 million. Because we mopped up a lot of businesses that are aligned in that area, owned by baby boomers that are tired of running those businesses. Yeah. So the pride and joy of those baby boomers, their names still exist. They say that the business is running and they have gotten something at the end of the day, apart from the fact that they've trained their children, they bought a house or whatever. Letting the business go, they still got something, and the business still impacting, not just only to the society, but to their family or the owner that bought the society at large. Yeah. And so that's a thing of joy for
yes, it would be a thing of joy. But you see, something that always stays, well, most of the time, is that sentimental attachment.
Exactly.
To
yes, but we
you
almost
know,
understand
it's
that.
like,
Yes, but that's a problem that we have in this country, this part of the world.
Yes.
And we are emotionally attached. We are just custodians. There's nothing, you don't own anything.
Wow.
So as long as you've come to that realization that you're just a custodian, that you don't, even your kids, you don't own them. You give birth to them, but they will go. You're just custodians. So what is the underlying factor? Why did you create the business in the first place? It's for social impartation. Do you understand? It's for people to be blessed from that business. And so if that is what you should think about, not just for your food, clothing, and shelter, because that's what a lot of people that we've noticed, that's where they stop. Forgetting that. Apart from food, clothing, and shelter, there is the family, there is the love and belonging, there is the self-esteem, and there is the self-actualization. The business must be able. So that is why the SMEs out there, it's important they start looking at acquisitions, not just for themselves, but of society at large. Because you can't have an employee working with you and the person is not able to realize their full potential. And you can only allow an employee realize their full potential if you acquire more business and you're able, from acquiring revenue resources you get, to now improve their life, their lifestyle, to reach that peak. They will stay with you for long, and the business, after you've gotten to that level, you now also become an envy for investors. You could just now sit back and the business continues to run on its own. But if you remain at that survival stage, sustainability stage, you won't go far.
Yeah.
True.
So acquisition is the joker, is the cheat code for scaling many industries. And I want the SMEs to key into it. Don't think about, oh, I don't want to partner with this person because of tribe, religion. No, that's the wrongest way. That means you're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about 40 years, how your business can, you have a good product, you have a good service. Allow people benefit from that good product and service.
So you, how do you get more entrepreneurs to hear this? You have seminars and workshops.
So that's the thing. That's the thing. I am too busy working with my businesses, working with entrepreneurs, a lot of people need myself. So I've not had time. This is my first time actually talking about this. And it's important that now that I've started, I think this is the first time that I'm having this conversation.
I was going to say,
hopefully
this could easily be a masterclass for.
Yes, it is. I'm actually coming out. Yes, there's a book I'm writing. It's called The Gorilla Runner. You know, in different industries, there are gorillas. So as long as you've come to understand, if you want to now appear beside gorilla without him knowing, it's through acquisition, because they won't know when you're coming. Because you'll be busy mopping up industries around. Before they know what is happening, you're everywhere.
So you're very busy, and there are a lot of you in this environment?
No, with lots of us, no.
Okay.
That is why I'm very busy.
Okay. Oh, awesome.
And so I've tried to create a structure around my business so that I would have time for engagements like this.
You need to impact, and you need to be able to convince and encourage the younger people, the entrepreneurs, the SMEs, to see the advantage in this. So one off like this isn't sufficient. We have to talk about how we can make this more regular, so that we can provide that window for more young people to benefit.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for your time. Certainly the way to go, business growth made easy and practical. Thanks a million once again to you, Melvin.
Thank you for having me. Hope to come anytime you invite me, and they could reach me also anywhere. But anyways, I'm happy to be here once again.
Okay, you're too busy, so we can't tell them how to reach you now, because you'll just be bombarded with.
No. Like I told you, I created a structure. That's the thing about businesses. If you must create a structure so that you could have time for things that are important. And to me, being here is very, very important.
Okay. When we have you the next time, we have all of your handles and all of your contacts.
Fantastic.
Splashed out there.
Fantastic. No problem at all.
And I must say, this has been very useful information for us. Thanks so much. I'm certain that many out there needed those nuggets. So thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
Great.
Anytime.
All right, and from business of acquisitions and mergers, and encouraging the younger ones to key into that, with our first guest, Melvin Anochiam, founder, CEO Vaultina Acquisitions.
It's Vaultila.
Vaultila.
Vaultila. When you till your vault, things
Oh,
come
when
up.
you till the vault. Vaultila Acquisitions.
Yeah.
We should take a quick break. When we return, we shall shift attention to healthy living with special interest in the production of healthy and safe food for our babies. This is Today with John and Helen live on Plus TV Africa. Please, please, please don't go away.